हाँ मैडम अब दिया है उसने. Okay, good morning everyone. I don't want your attendance. We will take from system, don't worry. Just confirm whether I am audible or not. Anyone from you? Okay, so we will begin our today's session. And today I will be taking a PPT virtual demo on the posterior abdominal wall. So this is not a theory lecture, just a demonstration of the posterior abdominal wall that we on the through virtual platforms. And the objective of today's session is that after this session, you will be able to describe the gross anatomy of the posterior abdominal wall. Of course, जब आप वापस ज्वाइन करेंगे तो आपको इसको एडेवर्स के अंदर वापस से एनाटॉमी लैब में देखना है. But yes, the theoretical aspect will be covered today. You should be able to identify the muscular wall and overlying fascia. You should be able to identify major blood vessels like aorta and its branches, including the major blood veins like inferior vena cava and its tributaries. You should be able to contrast the lymphatic drainage of the abdominal organs. And if time permits, I will also cover the last objective, which is you should be able to describe and identify the lumbar branches of the lumbar plexus. Although I will not be going to discuss the lumbosacral plexus, the branches which is visible on the posterior abdominal wall. आइडियली स्पीकिंग अगर आपका एब्डोमेन जहां तक भी कवर हुआ है या नहीं हुआ है, आपको एंटीरियर एब्डोमिनल वॉल एंड पोस्टीरियर एब्डोमिनल वॉल सबसे पहले पढ़नी चाहिए बिफोर वी रीड अबाउट एनी दिस ऑफ दैट. हालांकि हम उस तरह से आपको नहीं पढ़ाते, बट दिस इज माय एडवाइस टू ऑल ऑफ यू इफ यू रियली वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड फॉर द बेटरमेंट anterior abdominal wall, posterior abdominal wall, and that too in relation to the developmental aspect of the abdominal wall. क्योंकि अगर ये चीज़ें आप इस तरह से पढ़ते हैं तो आपको कहीं पे भी क्लिनिक्स में भी किसी एग्ज़ाम में भी आपको कहीं प्रॉब्लम नहीं आएगी. तो अभी आपके पास समय भी है, तो आज हम जो आपको बता रहे हैं उसके अलावा भी इस तरह से एक बार कोरिलेट करेंगे. ओके, सो व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज बेसिकली योर पोस्टीरियर एब्डोमिनल wall. So posterior abdominal wall is nothing but a musculoskeletal wall which is present between the lower border of the rib cage and the pelvic rim. We know the pelvic rim is formed by the iliac crest and the lowermost border of the rib cage is your 12th rib. So basically it is extending from the 12th rib above to the pelvic rim below, right? So basically what actually it is doing, it is nothing. It is basically the posterior boundary of your abdominal wall, simply, which extends from the lower aspect of your rib cage and extend up to the pelvic rim. So basically it is made of three parts. One is the bony part. So we will see, you already know what is the bony part. Those are the vertebra forming the posterior boundary of the abdominal cavity. Means we have the 5 lumbar vertebra, L1, L2, L3, L4 and L5. It is also having a muscular part जो हम देखेंगे आज, जो आपने अभी तक नहीं देखा है. And one very important concept, that is the presence of one very peculiar fascia, and that is the fascia. So basically this basically what you say, the strong or the tough wall as compared to the anterior abdominal wall is made of bone plus certain muscle plus certain fascia, and the fascia in this region is of course thick as compared to the deep fascia of the anterior abdominal wall. So posterior abdominal wall is the boundary of the abdominal cavity. Anteriorly, it is bounded by the retroperitoneal organ and the parietal peritoneum. Because as it is very obvious कि posterior side में है, तो इसके आगे जो भी retroperitoneal organ है वो पड़े हुए होंगे या parietal peritoneum का part हमारे पास पड़ा है, right? तो आपको वैसे भी पता है एंटीरियर एब्डोमिनल जो वॉल है हमारी वो सॉफ्ट है, डिस्टेंसिबल है, जबकि पोस्टीरियर एस्पेक्ट में हमको सपोर्ट के लिए एक स्ट्रॉन्ग वॉल चाहिए, राइट? सो पोस्टीरियरली ऑफ कोर्स मसल है, फेशिया है, लंबर वर्टिब्रा है हमारे पास. सो बेसिकली एक्शन और द फंक्शन ऑफ दिस स्ट्रॉन्ग वॉल इज so that it can support the retroperitoneal organ like your kidney, like your ureter, like your duodenum and all other organs basically, including the major vessels which is present in your abdominal cavity. I am already very loud, and from my side I already checked the system. There is no issue. Maybe you just increase the volume at your end. So here in this picture, if you see here, this is the lower border of the rib cage. This is the pelvic rim. So this entire area is your posterior abdominal wall, which is made of some bony parts, some muscles you can see here, and of course the fascia which is lying here, which is continuous with the deep fascia of the basically your thoracic cavity above, right? But here that fascia modified in certain way, and I will be describing about that part also. So basically, the posterior abdominal wall is made of three parts: bony, muscular, and the fascia. These are the contents which is directly in relation to the posterior abdominal wall. So you have the lumbar vertebra L1 to L5, जो कि मैं आपको बताने वाला भी नहीं हूँ क्योंकि ऑलरेडी वो आपका कवर हो चुका है. Yes, of course, muscle and fascia. Then we will be looking, identifying the abdominal aorta, its major branches, inferior vena cava and its major branches, tributaries, lymph node arrangement, and the nerves in relation to the posterior abdominal. We have also the azygos and hemiazygos vein, which is present on the posterior abdominal wall in relation to this. So if you look in this picture, you can see these are the muscles. You have the abdominal aorta, you have the inferior vena cava, even lymphatic channels in the green color is all the muscles which is present or which is basically forming the posterior abdominal wall. So now we will be, if you look from the medial to lateral side, those muscles are the psoas major muscle, which is over here, psoas major and the psoas minor muscle. Then you have the quadratus lumborum muscle. If you look in this same picture, it is over here. Then of course we have the transversus abdominis also. This is the transversus abdominis. And here, if you look in the lower aspect, you have the iliacus muscle. So basically, the muscular part of the posterior abdominal wall is made of some muscles which is either present medially. So medially you have the psoas major and the psoas minor muscle. Then the quadratus lumborum muscle, which is over here, and then you have some part of the transversus abdominis, which is visible in this picture over here, and in the inferior aspect, means below to this pelvic rim, this is being reinforced. This is the, of course, the pelvic cavity. This is the pulse of pelvic, but here this iliacus muscle is also there, which basically uh, uh, with the with the psoas major from a joint tendon, the tendon of iliopsoas over here. You can see in this picture. So medially you have the psoas major and the psoas minor. Laterally you have the quadratus lumborum, and of course you have the transversus abdominis muscle. And in the lower aspect, below to the pelvic rim, you have the iliacus muscle, which we will be talking today. Here, this is the diaphragm, which divides this abdominal cavity with that of the thoracic cavity over here. So this is the location of your diaphragm, and even you can see some openings in the diaphragm over here. So firstly, we will be looking for the psoas major muscle. So if you look in this picture, if you look in this picture, if you look here in this picture, you can very well appreciate this is the 12th rib. So this is somewhat your T12. So L1, L2, L3, L4, and L5 vertebra is also there. So basically it takes origin from bodies of T12 up to the L5 vertebra. And of course, between vertebra, you have the intervertebral disc. So the intervening intervertebral disc also give origin to the slips of this muscle, and this runs, and then it is inserting on the lesser trochanter of the femur. See, I am sitting along in my room and there are no background noises. Maybe because of the fan, maybe because of the fan. Just try to, if you can use your earphone, because this is what I can do from my side. Otherwise, my internet speed is going good. So I don't think there will be any issue with the internet speed or with the mic of my, which I am using, my personal mic. So maybe because I don't have the noise reduction facility available, so that may be the reason of the background noises. So just try to use your headphone and the mic headphone basically. And next time I will bring some other microphone, but the same microphone I am using for other classes also. So basically, if you look in this picture, this is the psoas major muscle which take origin from body of T12 to L1, but intervertebral disc and the transverse processes over here and passing all down here, and it is getting basically inserted on the lateral trochanter of the femur. Now, nerve supply, we know this is through the ventral rami of the L2, L3 and L4, which is coming directly from the lumbar plexus, and the main action of your psoas major muscle is the flexion of thigh at hip joint. And of course, if means if we are standing, so it will be helpful for the flexion of the trunk in the stooping position. So it is also a weak medial rotator of your hip joint because of its position. It because it is inserting on the lateral trochanter of your femur. So this is the action of your basically psoas major, which is very well appreciate, means we can appreciate this figure, which is very simple figure. If you see here, so basically this is the extended lower limb and it is causing the flexion at your hip joint or the flexion of the thigh, and shooting like this. You can see this is the flexion of the trunk. So this is the flexion of the trunk. So the iliacus, basically psoas major muscle, is doing the flexion of thigh at hip joint, and even it will help in the shooting position flexion of the trunk when it is fixed from the below. Now second muscle is the psoas minor muscle. If you look here, this is the psoas minor muscle. So how the psoas minor muscle is basically originating? If you see, so basically it originates from the lateral surfaces of the body of T12 and L1 vertebra only, while psoas major was having horizontal vertebra, while your psoas minor is taking origin only and only through T12 and L1 vertebra. And of course, the this is the T12, so T12 and T1, and of course the intervening intervertebral disc, and it is also inserting on the pectineal line of the pelvic rim and the iliocetic eminence. So if you see here, this is the T12 vertebra, this is the L1 vertebra. So two slits, from one from the T12, one from the L1 vertebra, and the intervening intervertebral disc. Then it is passing, going up to the pectineal line of the pelvic rim, and of course we know this is the iliopubic eminence. So it is inserting on the basically on the pectineal line of the pelvic rim as well as on the iliopubic. Now, what is the nerve supply? It is L1. Action, of course, this is a more cylindrical muscle as compared to, it is not as powerful as your psoas major, but of course, the action is, it is a weak flexor of the lumbar vertebral column. So you can see this is coming up to the pectoral line and on the iliopubic. So this is how this muscle runs, and this muscle runs anterior to the psoas major muscle, which is moving up to the lesser trochanter of your femur. So this is another muscle which is basically forming the posterior abdominal wall. So till now what we have seen, these L5, so 5 lumbar vertebrae जो आपको already पढ़ाया हुआ है, उसके अलावा medially we have these two muscles over here. Now lateral to that, if you move further lateral to that, you have another very important muscle which is the quadratus lumborum muscle. But this muscle basically take origin from the lower side, then it moves, and how it moves and how it takes its origin from the lower end, and then it is inserting somewhere here. I will be showing you in this picture and the coming one or two slides. But before that, I just want you to be familiar with two important ligaments with the help of this picture. If you look here, this is the iliac bone or the ilium. It's mentioned over here. This is, of course, we have the sacrum over here. So we have, this is the sacroiliac, of course, joint which is forming somewhere here. You can see on this side also. So there is a strong ligament which is passing in front of this aspect of the sacroiliac joint, and that is termed as anterior, because it is passing from the anterior aspect, anterior sacroiliac ligament. So we have a very important ligament which is sacroiliac ligament here, and a triangle which is present over here, because this will be helpful to understand the origin of the quadriceps lumborum. This is your L5 vertebra, which is over here. This is L5 vertebra. These are remaining L1, L2, L3, and L4 vertebra. This is the location of your quadratus lumborum, which I have shown in the green figure. So how it take origin? So basically, it take origin from the lower side and then it moves upward. So it takes origin from the transverse process of L5 vertebra. So from the transverse process of L5 vertebra, then even through the iliolumbar ligament and from the iliac crest, then it moves up of your L1 to L4 vertebra and towards the inferior border of your 12th rib. So if you look in this picture, this is the quadratus lumborum muscle, which is taking its origin from the basically the transverse processes of the lumbar vertebra, specifically from L5. In some book, it is mentioned that it will be taking origin from lower 2 to 4 transverse processes, but in most of the human, it take origin only and only from the transverse process of L5 vertebra. So, but that is also correct. So basically, lower 2 to 4 transverse process of lumbar vertebra you can mention. Then, of course, it take origin from the iliac crest. But which part of the iliac crest? Basically, the posterior 1/3. If you look here, this is the posterior aspect of iliac crest because it is S-shaped, something like this. So this is, we are looking from the posterior aspect. So posterior 1/3 of the inner lip of the iliac basically crest, along with the iliolumbar ligament, it take origin, and then this is moving. It runs upwards and the medially, then this is of course taking insertion on the inferior border of your tall rib plus the upper transverse processes of upper. So, but in most it is from L1 to L4, but in some origin may be from the lower 2 or 3 lumbar, right? So this is the how this quadratus lumborum is arranged, and the nerve supply is directly from the ventral rami of T12 to L4. What is the function of this muscle? If you look here, this is how it is arranged lateral to the psoas major and the psoas minor muscle. So this is laterally placed muscular part of the posterior abdominal wall, and the main function is that it depresses and stabilizes the 12th rib, जिसके साथ ये यहाँ पे attached है, and then it helps in the inspiration by helping the stabilization of your rib cage from this. Of course, if this muscle will flex unilaterally, it will also flex the trunk towards the lateral side. If this muscle will contract, it will help in the contraction of the trunk towards this side. So lateral flexion of trunk, and if they both act together, they extend the basically your lumbar vertebra. Now iliacus, without going into much detail, this is the location of iliacus. आपको already lower limb के समय ये बता दिया गया है. So the action is the flexion of thigh at the hip joint. We know the iliacus, and yes, it's inserted along with the psoas major on the lateral section of the hip. So this is another muscle. So if in this picture, if you see, this is the location of psoas major and psoas minor. Here, this is basically the location of your iliacus, and this muscle is your quadratus lumborum, which is moving like this on the posterior side, and this is the transversus abdominis muscle. So, as I mentioned you at the beginning of the session, that this posterior abdominal wall, which extends from the lower aspect of it up to the pelvic rim below, which is a strong, which is made of the bone, muscles, and the fascia. 5 bones, L1, L2, L3, L4, and L5 vertebra, plus these muscles, so which are arranged from medial to lateral side. This is the psoas major. Anterior to that, this cylindrical, this patla wala muscle jo hai, this is the psoas minor. Then you have the quadratus lumborum. Then on this muscle, this aspect, this is the transversus abdominis, right? So, and if you look in the lower aspect, of course, so this basically posterior abdominal wall, theoretically we consider from here to here, but yet we consider this muscle which is helping in the on the posterior side, because this is the false pelvis actually, because the pelvic organs are located here, because the abdominal organs of the viscera is located in the false pelvis. That's why we consider this muscle also, we include in the muscle of the abdominal wall in the lower aspect, which is your iliacus muscle. So bony part we have covered. We have covered the muscular part. Now the next part is the fascia of the posterior abdominal wall. So basically the fascia of the posterior abdominal wall is a thick fascia, as compared to the fascia which is there in the anterior abdominal wall. And this, the fascia is made of three different fascia, which we will be talking today. One is the fascia of the psoas muscle, which basically encloses the psoas muscle over here. This is this three different color I have mentioned. I mean, I have shown you three different colors. So this is the fascia which cover basically your psoas major muscle. So over here, then you have the iliacus fascia, and third will be the thoracolumbar fascia, and we will be looking for these three fascias basically one by one. So firstly, we will be looking at the psoas fascia. So if you look here, if you look this ये येलो कलर का जो मैंने लाइन बताया, ये एक तरह से मैंने सॉस मेजर मसल को का मूवमेंट, मतलब किस तरह से अरेंज है बॉडी में, वो दिखाने की हमने कोशिश की है. So the thick facial sheath which surround your psoas muscle is your psoas fascia, right? And this basically encloses, this is also termed as the facial sheath. This facial sheath is also termed as the psoas sheath or the psoas fascia. This arises as the muscle entered into the abdominal cavity over here, because we know it was taking origin from the sheath valve. So as soon as the muscle entered into the abdominal cavity under the medial arcuate ligament. What is medial arcuate ligament? That is nothing but the condensed superficial or the superior most part of the fascia, which basically enclose this soft muscle. So which is also termed as the medial arcuate ligament over here. So as soon as this muscle enters the abdominal cavity under the medial arcuate ligament over here, which is nothing but the condensed the superior most part of the soft fascia only, which is also named as the medial arcuate ligament, and it ends at the pelvic brim as the muscle leaves the abdomen inferiorly, and the same fascia is merges with that of the iliacus fascia, which is present over here. So basically, psoas fascia encloses your psoas, the medial arcuate ligament in its uppermost part over here. Laterally, if you move here, it basically laterally it basically blends with the anterior layer of the thoracolumbar fascia, जो हम आगे देखेंगे. Medially, it is attached to the bodies and the intervening intervertebral disc of the lumbar vertebra, which you can see here. This is, and below it is fused with that of the arcuate line of the pelvis and the fascia covering the iliacus muscle. So this is how this psoas fascia is basically expanded. So in this picture, this is the arrow part is the medial arcuate ligament. This medial arcuate ligament is nothing but the thickened uppermost part of the facial sheath, which covers your psoas muscle, or a psoas fascia is your medial arcuate ligament. It is also termed as medial lumbocortical. Now next fascia is your fascia iliacus. I will not go into detail of this fascia because its name implies this is the fascia which covers basically both iliacus and psoas major muscle. You can see this green color over here. So this is the fascia iliacus. Now third fascia, which is very important, which we need to understand, and it may come as a separate question also, and it is having clinical importance, which we will be learning in the later part of your medical line. So that is the thoracolumbar fascia. So thoracolumbar fascia I will be talking bit detailed in the bit detailed form. So thoracolumbar fascia is nothing but it is the deep fascia of the back of your trunk, which includes both your thorax as well as abdomen, right? Right. So it basically the main action or the main function of this fascia, this deep fascia, that this deep fascia basically binds the long extensor muscles of your vertebral column, which is your erector spinae, to the posterior lateral aspect of the vertebral column. So basically, it binds erector spinae, or which is also termed basically the long extensor muscle, basically anti-gravity muscle of the vertebral column, and encloses the other than erector spinae, it encloses the quadratus lumborum muscle also. So it extends from the back of the spectrum to the neck, but in the abdominal part, it is much thicker as compared to the thoracic part. For the description only, you can divide this basically thick fascia, which is thoracolumbar fascia, into lumbar part or the thoracic part, basically, right? So there is no difference. This is the same fascia, deep fascia, but yes, in the lumbar area, it splits and encloses the quadratus lumborum muscle also, which I will be showing you. So this is very strong in lumbar region. Laterally, it gives origin to your internal oblique and the transversus abdominis muscle. जब आपको abdominal wall पढ़ाई गई होगी तब शायद आपने ध्यान दिया हो, तो आप देख रहे होंगे, आपने देखा होगा कि जो आपकी internal oblique या transverse abdominis muscle होती है, so basically this give origin to the internal oblique as well as to the transversus abdominis muscle on the lateral side. And the lumbar part in the medial side, it basically splits into three layers: your anterior, medial, and the posterior layer, and then this encloses two different muscles. So how this is arranged, which will be looking with the help of this figure. So it basically is having three layers on the medial side. So laterally, the same fascia basically give origin to the internal oblique as well as transversus abdominis muscle. But on the medial side, it's split into three layers: anterior, middle, and the posterior layer, which will be more clearly seen in this picture. So you can see here, this is the body of your vertebra. Here, this is the vertebral arch. This is the vertebral foramen over here. This is your vertebral body. So this is the lateral aspect of the body. This is the lamina. You can see here. This is the location of your psoas major muscle, and lateral to that you have the muscle which is the quadratus lumborum over here, and this is the long, basically this is the long extensor muscle of the vertebral column, which is termed as the erector spinae. So as I beginning in the mention, the deep fascia on the back side of your trunk, including thorax, basically, which binds this long extensor muscle, which is also termed as erector spinae, with that of the posterior lateral aspect of your vertebral body. So here, this thick fascia is your basically is your lumbar part of the thoracolumbar fascia. So laterally, it gives origin to these two muscles, which is your transverse abdominis as well as internal oblique. And medially, as this thick fascia moves medially towards the vertebra, it splits into three layers: anterior layer, this is the middle layer, this is the posterior layer, and you can see this posterior layer and middle layer, they are thick basically in nature as compared to anterior layer, which is not that thick. And between the anterior and the middle layer, you have this muscle, which is your quadratus lumborum, while between the middle and the posterior you have the layer of the thoracolumbar fascia or the lumbar fascia, you have this erector spinae. Look at the attachment of this anterior layer, this layer. So you can see above it is attached to the medial transverse process of the first lumbar vertebra, अगर हम वैसे देखते हैं, ठीक है, and here this is merging over here. This, if you look at the middle layer here, this is the attachment of the middle layer. So medially, this middle layer medially is attaching with the tip of the transverse process of the lumbar vertebra. So you can see here, this is the transverse process of the lumbar vertebra, and here anterior layer is coming up to the tubercle, which is present over here. So this is how your anterior layer is arranged. This is how posterior layer is arranged, and medially this posterior layer is coming up to the tip of the spine over here. So this is how they are basically having medial, basically your medial attachment, and this is how they are arranged on the lateral aspect. And between these three layers you have, between the anterior and the middle layer, you have the muscle which is the quadratus lumborum, and here you have the muscle which is your erector spinae muscle. So this thoracolumbar fascia, so here it was your the fascia which was covering your psoas major muscle. So this is the medial arcuate ligament. So lateral to that, the thickening or the uppermost extent of your lumbar part of the thoracolumbar fascia basically thickened and formed the lateral arcuate ligament. So this is the medial arcuate ligament. This is the lateral arcuate ligament. Medial is formed by the thickening of the psoas fascia, and here this is basically formed by the thickening of the your thoracolumbar fascia. Now this thoracolumbar fascia is can be asked even as a short note in your exam. So if we see in this picture, this is a composite picture of the thoracolumbar fascia. So in this picture, you can even look for the extent. So here, this yellow color is your psoas fascia. Here, this is the lumbar anterior layer of the lumbar fascia. This is the thickening forming the medial arcuate ligament. Thickening in the upper part form the lateral arcuate ligament, and here inferiorly it is continued like this. So this is one very important fascia, the deep fascia, which is having this kind of arrangement in relation to your lumbar area. Now coming to the vessels and nerves. So what we have seen till now, we have seen the bones, जो आपने already पहले देखा था, मैंने आज नहीं बताया आपको, lumbar vertebra. Then these muscles, psoas major, psoas minor, quadratus lumborum, iliacus, and of course we have the transversus abdominis muscle. Then the fascia, the psoas fascia, then the fascia which is covering your iliacus, iliopsoas fascia, then the thoracolumbar fascia. Now, so as I mentioned at the beginning of this session, that this posterior abdominal wall is made of the bony part, it is made of the muscle part, and it is of course it is made of the fascia. So this is these three fascia you need to understand. Now, moving with the contents. So what are the important things which is present in relation to your posterior abdominal wall? I will be talking mainly of the vessels, that is the abdominal aorta and the inferior vena cava. But yes, all retroperitoneal organs, they are basically lying on this posterior abdominal wall. So before you read any other viscera, I suggest you to read the posterior abdominal wall. So let us see the abdominal aorta and its branches very briefly, because if you see in this picture, this is the diaphragm. Posteriorly, if this is the posterior abdominal wall, of course the vertebra are placed here. So this is the aortic opening at the level of T12 thoracic vertebra, and here you can see this is the abdominal aorta, which basically is the continuation of the descending thoracic aorta, and at the level of this level, the same aorta is now termed as the abdominal aorta. So abdominal aorta extends from T12 up to here, and then at the lower end of the L4 vertebra. So this is the extent of abdominal aorta. So from the aortic opening of the diaphragm at the level of T12, it descends behind the peritoneum in front of your lumbar vertebra. So of course in front of your vertebral part of your posterior abdominal wall, just medial to just towards the left side, not exactly in front in the median plane, but towards the slide left side, and the right side, this structure is the your inferior vena cava, which basically extends from here, which is the L4 level, up to the opening of the inferior vena cava, which is lying over here. So this is the T12, this is T10, and this is the T8. So we know the diaphragm, which is the this is thoracoabdominal diaphragm. Here this diaphragm will divide your thoracic and abdominal cavity. It is having three important, basically, openings for three important structures. So this is for the vena cava opening, this is for the esophagus, and this one is for the abdominal aorta. So these two important vessels are running. One is your abdominal aorta, and this is basically your inferior vena cava, right? So this is how abdominal aorta is arranged. Now I will not go in the theoretical details of these branches, but yes, you need to understand there are some branches arising from the ventral aspect. So like your celiac trunk, superior mesenteric and the inferior mesenteric artery, ये आपको already पढ़ा चुके हैं. Then you have the vessels arising from the lateral side. Then you have the arising from the dorsal side also. So like that you need to understand. So ventral, you have the celiac trunk, superior mesenteric, the inferior mesenteric. Four pair of the lumbar arteries will be arising on the dorsal aspect. So you can see here in this picture, this is the same picture. This picture is there even in your BD Charosia. So you have basically four pairs of the lumbar arteries, and then one very important artery, which is the median sacral artery. Here you can see, but it is arising from the dorsal aspect. Then you have the lateral group of vessels, and then you have the terminal. So what are the lateral groups? You need to understand in relation to at which vertebral level they are arising. But if because that will be means when you will be reading the renal, so renal artery okay arises at this level, gonadal artery arises at this level. So that in that way you need to understand. So if you look at the lateral branches, so inferior phrenic, which is the first branch, immediately that too at the big means before the celiac tract take its origin, immediately as soon as it enters into just below the diaphragm, you have the inferior phrenic. Then next is the suprarenal arteries, then you have the renal arteries, then you have the gonadal artery, right? So you can see renal artery, you can see the gonadal artery, like that. So this is the level of L4, this is L3, this is L2. So gonadal artery we know arises at the level of L2, right? So this is how you need to understand what are the arteries arranged on the administrative organ on the left side. And yes, terminal branches, right and left, common iliac artery. So these are the important branches of your abdominal aorta. Then this is dorsal view. डॉर्सल अगर हम कह रहे थे लंबर आर्टरीज तो यहाँ आपको विजिबल है फोर पेयर इस तरह से ये मीडियन सैक्रल पीछे की तरफ जा रही है. दिस इज द वेंट्रल व्यू. यू हैव ऑल दोज ब्रांचेस रिप्रेजेंटेटिव डायग्राम. Now let us see very brief about the inferior vena cava. So basically inferior vena cava conveys most of the blood from the body below the diaphragm. Superior vena cava is for the upper part of your body, right? And of course these are basically going towards the right side of your atrium. So right atrium mein ja raha hai, right? In fetus this conveys the mixed blood, which is basically mixed blood. So I suggest you to read the fetal circulation, चाहे आपको पढ़ाया गया हो या नहीं, for the better understanding of some important aspect जो portovenous shunt में भी काम आएंगे आपके और बहुत सारी चीजों में काम आने वाले हैं. भले ही आपको वो बाद में पढ़ाए जाए, आई एम नॉट अवेयर कि वो आपको कब पढ़ाए जाएंगे, but you need to read the fetal circulation. So basically inferior vena cava begins at the level of over here, which is at the level of L4 vertebra, lower end of the L4 vertebra. And यहाँ अगर आप देखते हो तो दिस इज द लेवल T8, थोरेसिक 8 के ऊपर यहाँ हमारी जो ओपनिंग है विनल केवल ओपनिंग है डायफ्राम में, और इमीडिएटली जैसे इसके ऊपर जाता है यहाँ हार्ट रखा हुआ है, उसके पेरिकार्डियम में ये अंदर चली जाती के थ्रू एंट्री करती है राइट साइड ऑफ द एट्रियम. सो इट एक्सटेंड फ्रॉम दिस पॉइंट अप टू दिस पॉइंट, एंड then we will be looking for the triglycerides, how it is being formed. So inferior vena cava formed by union of right and left common iliac vein in front of lower part of your L4 vertebra or in front of your L5 vertebra. Then it passes upward in front of your vertebral column, just placed little bit on the right side of the abdominal aorta. Then of course it lodges, there is a groove, a special groove which is present on the posterior surface of the liver, because we know liver is placed somewhere here. So there is a special groove for the posterior, on the posterior aspect of your inferior vena cava, और वहाँ से होती हुई ये डायफ्राम में विनल केवल ओपनिंग से जो कि L8 के लेवल पे है, पियर्स करके ऊपर की तरफ जा रही है. So this is formed by union of right and left common iliac over here. Then it runs upward on the posterior surface of the liver within the renal cava groove, and then it enters into the thoracic cavity through veno-caval opening in the diaphragm at the level of T8. And then of course in the thoracic region, you can see here this is the right atrium, so it passes through the the pericardium, and then it will be entering into the right side of your basically heart. So pierces the fibrous pericardium and enter into the right. Very common and the important tributaries, two common iliac vein. You can see here, these are the two common iliac vein. You have the medial sacral artery, aorta से आ रही थी, उसी के corresponding vein है, but वो left side की common iliac में आ रही है, तो ये इसकी tributary है, ठीक है. Then 3 to 4 directly lumbar veins. Then of course you have the ascending lumbar veins also coming. Then right and left हमको मालूम है कि renal vein भी आता है इसमें. Then we have the suprarenal vein, अगर देख रहे हो आप यहाँ पे आ रहा है, तो this is suprarenal vein आ रहा है, right and left renal vein. Then से आर्टरी गई थी उसी तरह के corresponding यहाँ पे आपकी है. The only thing which you need to remember is that the right gonadal vein or the testicular, चाहे वो testicular हो या ovarian हो, they drain directly into the inferior vena cava. यहाँ पे आपको दिख रहा है, जबकि left side वाली जो होती है they drain through the left renal vein. So here if you look in this picture, this is the renal vein, this is the gonadal vein. जैसे gonadal arteries दोनों की अलग अलग गई थी, वेन राइट की डायरेक्टली इंफीरियर वीना केवा में आती है, जबकि लेफ्ट वाली जो है इस लेफ्ट रीनल वेन के थ्रू आती है गोनेडल, चाहे वो टेस्टिस से आ रही हो मेल्स में या ओवेरी से आ रही हो फीमेल्स में. सो दिस इज द राइट, द गोनेडल वेन, testicular or ovarian, they drains into your inferior vena cava, while your left gonadal vein, which is either testicular in male or the ovarian, they will be entering, basically draining it directly into the left renal vein, and then left renal vein will be basically draining into your testis. Similarly, there is one difference that is in the drainage of the suprarenal. So right suprarenal vein basically drains directly into the inferior vena cava, while you look here, it will be draining into the left renal vein, and then it will be coming into there. So these are the two exceptions, means asymmetry you can say, not the exception. On the right side, they are draining directly into the inferior vena cava, while from the left side, they will be draining through the left renal vein. Then of course, one very important thing which you need to understand is the hepatic vein, basically, because जैसे हमने बोला यहाँ लीवर पड़ा हुआ है, ठीक है, और डायरेक्टली उस वीना केवा के ग्रूव में जो हेपेटिक वेन्स राइट एंड लेफ्ट दोनों तरफ की आती है, वो इस इंफीरियर वीना केवा के अंदर चली जाती है. एंड दीज हेपेटिक वेन्स आर मेन रिस्पॉन्सिबल वेन्स है जो कि आपके इतने हैवी ऑर्गन जो कि आपका लीवर होता है उसको इन सिटू, मैं खड़ा भी हूँ लेकिन मेरा लीवर नीचे नहीं गिर रहा, बिकॉज डायरेक्टली ये हेपेटिक वेन्स जो है, अदर फैक्टर्स भी है वो आप जब लीवर पढ़ेंगे तब समझ आएगा, बट दिस इज वन ऑफ द इम्पोर्टेंट फैक्टर why your liver, for the stability of liver, क्योंकि डायरेक्टली हेपेटिक वेन इस इंफीरियर वीना केवा में ही ड्रेन कर रही है. तो as soon as they come out of the substance of your liver, they drain into your inferior vena cava. Other than that, of course, you have the azagus system of veins, azagus and the hemiazagus vein. They are also present on the in relation to the posterior abdominal wall, जिसको मैं कवर नहीं कर रहा हूँ. अलग से शायद आपका कोई लेक्चर या डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन होगा तो उसमें कवर की जाएगी. अगर नहीं होता है तो इम्पोर्टेंट है, आप पढ़ लेंगे, राइट. सो दैट इज ऑल्सो प्रेजेंट ऑन the, basically if you talk about the contents में हमारे पास में जो हम कंटेंट्स की बात कर रहे थे, तो उसमें ये जो ग्रेट वेसल्स हैं लाइक एब्डोमिनल एओर्टा, इंफीरियर वीना केवा, yes of course you have the kidney, you have the suprarenal, these are the retroperitoneal structure, along with your ureter, they lie on the posterior abdominal wall. Then of course your ascending and descending colon also lies in relation to your posterior abdominal wall, right. And even your pancreas is a retroperitoneal, or basically the organ which is present that of your duodenum is present on the posterior abdominal wall. So those are the contents which you need to understand in relation to the posterior abdominal wall. So these are the azagus system of veins. Now the lymphatic system, which is arranged in relation to posterior abdominal wall. So you have basically the periaortic, which is basically responsible for the abdominal part of the GIT. So we have three groups of the lymph nodes. they are the celiac, superior mesenteric, and the inferior mesenteric. The need you need to understand is they are basically responsible for the abdominal part of your GIT. They are also present in front of your this great vessel. Then, of course, their efferent will be through the intestinal tract. Now you have some para-aortic or the lateral aortic lymph nodes. These are responsible for the viscera, which is present in your abdominal cavity, but not from the GIT. So pre-aortic is mainly from the GIT. Para-aortic is like renal से आ रहा है, suprarenal से आ रहा है, is parallel to the aorta. तो साइंस ने बहुत ही सिस्टमेटिकली ऊपर वाले ने ये सिस्टम बनाया है ताकि कोई कंफ्यूजन नहीं हो कि कौन सी वायर किस जगह से जानी है. देन दे हैव ऑफ कोर्स द डिफरेंट पेयर ऑफ द लंबर ट्रंक, बिकॉज जब आपको ये thoracic डक्ट वगैरह पढ़ाया जाएगा तब आपको इसकी और फाइनल डिटेलिंग आपकी आगे होगी. Now, pattern of the lymphatic drainage in abdomen. If you look here, this is just for the better understanding. You have the pre-aortic node, you have the para-aortic node. This I explained because वो मैंने ही आपको पढ़ाया था thoracic में. So the abdominal part will be going into the pre-aortic, and the viscera which is there in the abdominal cavity, they will be going into the para-aortic. Then of course, through intestinal trunk or through lumbar trunk, they are going into cisterna chyli, and this will be moving upward as a thoracic duct in the that this will be moving as a thoracic duct, so that finally this can go and drain into the systemic circulation. Now coming to the lumbar plexus. So here I am not going to describe you how this lumbar plexus is formed beyond the scope of my demo, but yes, what I need you to understand, you need to look at this picture and you need to understand, say for example, here in this picture, this is the location of psoas major muscle. This is the quadratus lumborum. Here, this is the transversus abdominis. And you have a number of nerves which I have mentioned here. So you need to know what is their relative arrangement on the posterior abdominal wall, which is present lateral to your psoas major muscle. So you have some nerves which is present lateral to your psoas major, then some muscles, some nerves which is you will be able to locate on the anterior aspect of the psoas major muscle. So in that way, it is present between यहाँ से जैसे ये psoas major जा रही है या iliacus आ गई, तो this nerve which is your femoral nerve. तो ये जब आपने आपको लंबोसेक्युलर प्लेक्सस पढ़ाया होगा लोअर लिम्फेटिक में, तो अगर आपको ध्यान है तो आपको पोस्टीरियर एब्डोमिनल वॉल के रिलेशन में कौन सी नर्व कहाँ से निकल रही है उसकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग, क्योंकि आपको अल्टीमेटली आइडेंटिफाई करना है अगर कैडेवर में या एक लाइव इंसान में, तो यू विल बी आइडेंटिफाइंग इन रिलेशन टू कि वो psoas मेजर के मीडियल साइड से निकल रही है, सामने से निकल रही है या लेटरल साइड से निकल रही है. So say for example, if you look at this picture, this is your femoral nerve. So this is the location of your psoas major muscle, which is intact on left side. So this is the psoas major, this is iliacus. तो उनके बीच से हमारी निकल रही है, यहाँ पे ये psoas major हमने काटी हुई है. Then medial to that you have the obturator nerve. Lateral to that you have the lateral cutaneous nerve. So you have the lateral cutaneous nerve. Then सबसे ऊपर की तरफ हम आ रहे हैं, तो सबसे ऊपर तो इंफीरियर फ्रेनिक निकली गई. उसके बाद अगर आप देख रहे हैं यहाँ पे ये psoas major, this is quadratus lumborum. So these are the iliohypogastric nerve. Then you have the ilioinguinal nerve. Then of course अगर हम बात करते हैं कि जो psoas major के बीचों बीच से निकलती हुई बाहर आ रही है, this is your genitofemoral nerve. So like this, you need to understand what are the branches coming from the lumbar plexus in relation to your psoas major. Psoas major is a landmark. What are the, this is the sympathetic trunk coming here. You can see even it is visible here in this picture. The nerve which basically comes out from the substance of your psoas here. It is the genitofemoral nerve. You can see here. It is very clearly visible. Then this is your obturator. In that way, you need to understand. So this is a diagram which I took from either from BD Chaurasia or maybe some UG textbook. I don't remember, but yes, either from BD Chaurasia or maybe from the Inderveer Singh or maybe from the Vishram Singh. So these are the nerves you can see. So first, if you see here, this is the subcostal nerve. Then you have these nerves. In that way, the arrangement of these nerves we need to understand in relation to the wall of the posterior abdominal wall. Okay, so up to this point, whatsoever I have shown you, because you need to correlate, then you will be dealing or you will be basically reading any viscera, abdominal aorta, or the inferior vena cava, right? But the thing is, you need to understand that before you read any viscera, especially the retroperitoneal viscera, जैसे आप किडनी पढ़ते हैं या आप स्प्लीन पढ़ते हैं, उससे पहले आप ये पोस्टीरियर समझने में और रिलेशंस को समझने में कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. Now I will be giving you exercise in form of a clinical case which I want you to solve yourself. मैं आपको दूंगा. Second thing, इसमें पोस्टीरियर एब्डोमिनल वॉल को अगर मैं समराइज करूं तो हमारे पास बोन थी, लंबर वर्टिब्रा, जो आपको पता होने चाहिए. देन हमने मसल्स देखी, देन हमने फेशिया देखा. फेशिया में हमारे पास सॉफ्ट फेशिया था, इलियोसॉफ्ट इलियाकस फेशिया था, फेशिया इलियाकस. देन हमने देखा था थोरैकोलम्बर फेशिया. Now, two things which you need to understand. I am giving you two exercises. First of all, you read about the lumbosacral triangle. Right? I have not shown you that figure. So, but I want you to understand. You need to read one very important clinical area, that is the lumbosacral triangle. This is a homework for you. आप उसको पढ़ेंगे और उसको फिर आप बाद में मुझसे डिस्कस कर सकते हैं. Second thing, I will be showing you one clinical case. Just read this clinical case, then because afterwards I will be ending my class and I want you to solve this case. You can take a print shot of that. You can take photo of with your mobile also. So the case is a 25-year-old male presented pain which is basically radiating towards the right iliac fossa and lumbar region when he is doing the thigh flexion. Abdominal ultrasound shows significant intestinal distension and a small quantity of free fluid at the right iliac fossa. An appendectomy were performed. उसकी अपेंडिक्स को काट दिया गया सर्जन ने. जैसे वो ये सब प्रेजेंट से आया, उन्होंने डायग्नोज किया और बोला कि ये अपेंडिसाइटिस है, राइट इलियाक फोसा का पेन हो रहा है, उन्होंने काट दिया. ड्यूरिंग इमीडिएट पोस्ट ऑपरेटिव टाइम द पेशेंट कंडीशन with the worsening of the pain बढ़ गया, rather than कम होने की जगह वो बढ़ गया. Then they have done an abdominal CT scan, which is computerized topography. Contrast was used, revealing an increase in the iliac and the psoas muscle of the right side. There is a basically enhancement of the iliacus and the psoas muscle of the right side with multiple bacterial focuses. So I want you to solve this case. This is an exercise for you, and one very simple exercise that which is also termed as lumbosacral triangle of Marseillaise. बट नाम से हमें इतना नहीं है, क्योंकि आजकल के ज़माने में इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे नाम को कोई ज़्यादा तवज्जो नहीं देता है. यू शुड नो व्हाट इज lumbosacral triangle because it is relevant clinically. So you need to read about that yourself. Then you can, if you have any question, you can ask from me. But this case I want you to solve because this is very important case as far as Indian scenario is concerned. So just to summarize about today's session is that we have discussed the posterior abdominal wall. Posterior abdominal wall, which is osteomuscular and the fibrous basically structure which extends from the lower aspect of your 12th rib up to the pelvic rim and form the strong and the stable wall on the posterior aspect of your abdominal cavity. Right? It is made up of bones, muscles and fascia. तो 5 हमारे पास लंबर वर्टिब्रा है, हमारे पास मसल्स है. जो मसल्स है हमारी, वो हमने ऑलरेडी देखी कि उसमें सॉफ्ट मेजर, सॉफ्ट माइनर, क्वाड्रेटस लंब्रोडम, ट्रांसवर्सस एब्डोमिनस एंड योर इलियाकस है. Then the fascia which is covering your soft muscle, fascia which is covering your iliacus and the thoracolumbar fascia, And the content of the posterior abdominal wall is nothing but the retroperitoneal structures which are basically lying on the posterior abdominal wall, which is like your kidney, aorta, inferior vena cava, ascending and the descending colon, and most of your duodenum is of course retroperitoneal, sitting directly on the posterior abdominal wall, and most of your pancreas is also directly related with the posterior abdominal wall. तो जब आप पेनक्रियाज पढ़ेंगे, जब आप किडनी पढ़ेंगे, जब आप सुप्रारीनल पढ़ेंगे, तब ये काम आने ही वाली है। मुझे नहीं पता कि उसमें से कुछ आपको पहले पढ़ाया है, अगर पढ़ाया है तो भी आप पहले पोस्टीरियर एब्डोमिनल वॉल समझे और उसको पढ़े। दिस इज ऑल अबाउट पोस्टीरियर एब्डोमिनल फॉर बीइंग attentive. Yes, Smith, what is this PG 395 पर 6 आंसू 6 क्या लिखा है आपने? रोल नंबर 133 क्या लिखना चाहते हो बेटा? मुझे समझ नहीं आया ये आपका। Okay, no problem. So this is all about the posterior abdominal wall. Thank you very much. Is there any question you want to ask at this moment? Because I can take 5 minutes more because I started 5 minutes late. Not my mistake, because they gave me host right only after 5 minutes, or rather 6-7 minutes. If you want to ask any question, still I can take 5 more minutes. Just write in the chat box if you have any question related to posterior abdominal wall. So these were my references. Okay, then I will be